First of all, I want to thank Pharma State Academy for organizing this World Pharma Brand Managers Week 2024. Good afternoon to everyone once again. I am Dr. Mujahid. I am from SK Pharmaceuticals. We are one of the most ethically acclaimed and top-tier pharma companies in Bangladesh. I know other than Bangladeshi professionals, there are other professionals as well from other countries, mostly like India. That's why a brief about SKF. We are a pharmaceutical finished product and animal health product manufacturing generic pharma company with our global footprints in many countries across 6 continents. At the beginning, as I just mentioned, that once again, my sincere gratitude, my heartfelt thanks to Pharma State Academy, especially to mentor Vivek sir for organizing this World Pharma Brand Managers Week 2024. And also for inviting me to share a few words. I'm especially thankful to the organizers for keeping and dedicating one's day, especially for Bangladeshi pharma professionals. And it's an honor to be a part of such a learning session, such a program. And I'm extremely humbled and privileged to get the learning experience from the industry stalwarts. I know there are some industry stalwarts from Bangladesh pharma industry will be giving keynote presentation and will be sharing their experiences. And also, I look forward to learning from young Bangladeshi pharma leaders as well. As Vivek sir has mentioned, I seek your, actually, I'm seeking apologies because this is a formal program, formal session. It was scheduled long back, but still because of an extremely urgent family emergency, I'll be very brief today. I hope you will understand. So very briefly, what I'm trying to say that during the last 2 decades of my pharmaceutical profession, of my journey in the pharma industry, I have seen many pharmaceutical brands to be launched in the market. And unfortunately, seen many of the brands have failed, even though crores of money were spent in promotion, because these brands fail to get doctors' attentions and prescriptions. And also, I have seen and experienced the stories of many, many powerful brands and many successful brands. So now, behind every successful brand, what I believe that there is a leader, a mother or a father, the brand manager. And I should rather say, behind the successful brand, there is an outstanding or an exceptional brand manager. Now, why are they exceptional, or how they have become to build their brands as a successful brand? So I will try to share only a single message with all of you today in just 4 or 5 minutes time. We usually think that it is the great ideas that make the exceptional brands, or that make an exceptional brand manager, or sometimes we even think that it is execution, the brand manager's ability to get things done on time. I mean, it is their abilities to provide the literatures or brochures, or in time giving the gifts or samples, or doing CMEs or activation programs, that makes a brand manager successful or their brand successful. Now, what I feel from the experience of last 2 decades, that I may come up with a lot of ideas, or I can do a lot of stuffs, but to me, that doesn't necessarily mean that my product will be prescribed by a doctor, or I'll be able to build a successful brand or a power brand. A brand manager who only thinks about getting things done on time, I mean, only my KPI finished on time. Like today is 18th of January. We are in the mid of the month. So if I only think about that, I'll have to finish giving my brochures, my samples, my gift within due time, or in next 2 weeks time, I'll have to finish 1 more CMEs or 5 more activation programs. What I'm trying to say, if I spend most of my focus or most of my ideas based on my KPIs or doing the stuffs or the activities, then I don't think it is necessary or it is enough ultimately to build a power brand or to become a successful or an exceptional brand manager. Long back, I was watching a video of Vivek sir, where sir was sharing that sometimes from we the seniors or we who are playing the leading role of the pharma companies, sometimes we set the objectives or mission vision of the company. We set the along with our team members, we set the brand forecasting and everything, and accordingly we finalize our annual operating plan and we share the plan among all the brand managers, all the executives, and based on the objectives or goal sets, the executives or the managers, they start on working in the Excel file. So that was the video I was watching. Vivek sir was sharing that don't be an Excel based brand manager, don't be like that. So what I'm trying to say, it is not always the ideas or the Excel sheets or the executions, doing things on right time that makes a exceptional brand manager or that makes a brand successful. In today's Bangladesh or in today's world, once a generic is launched or a product is launched in the market, immediately the market becomes crowded with many other brands. Doctors have many choices. That means a brand manager needs to be absolutely clear about who his customer is and what do they need to prescribe the brand. That is my only message to all of you today in as I said, in 2 3 minutes. That means we need to get out of the office, we need to do the research, we need to understand what exactly is the need of my doctors or my chemists or my medical rep. An exceptional brand manager or an outstanding brand manager, she will think, how can I help my medical rep? Or what are my doctor's actual requirements? Or how can I help my brand's revenue or profit to grow? I'm not saying that regular activities or KPIs are not important. That is, I'm not saying. I'm not meaning. What I'm trying to mean that how am I thinking as a brand manager? That is very very important. The way you think or you set your mind, that matters because that shapes and that guides the decision you take in favor of your brand every single day. Exceptional brand managers, from my life experience, what I have learned, what I have seen, that exceptional brand managers always focus on the requirement of the doctors, on the requirement of the customers, or solving the problems of the medical reps. They listen to the stories of the patients, and ultimately, they help business grow. They help their brands to grow. Long back, I was watching a video in this regard, and how will you think about a pharma brand manager while having a conversation with a brand manager? Now, exceptional, as I am repeatedly mentioning, that the good or exceptional brand managers, they always talk about their doctor stories. They always portray the patient stories. They talk about the behavioral pattern of chemists. Like in Bangladesh, it is a branded generic market. We focus on the brands, doctors prescribe in brands, and that those brands are being sold in the chemist shops. So that's why the exceptional brand managers, they also think about the thinking habits, behavioral patterns of the chemists as well. They do understand the smell of sweat of every single medical rep. They know who their customers are and what are they actually trying to achieve. So, in summary, what I'm trying to say and share to the young leaders of Bangladesh pharma industry that don't be so busy with your day-to-day works. That is my only message to you today. Don't be engaged with your Excel files only. Then you will forget about focusing on your doctor segments. You'll forget about the goals and objectives that you are trying to achieve with your brands. And ultimately, you will miss your company mission, or we all will miss our company objectives and mission. So next time, as most of the young pharma professionals from Bangladesh are here, আমি বাংলাই বলছি। নেক্সট টাইম কখনো আপনাদের সাথে যদি আমার দেখা হওয়ার সুযোগ হয়, I love to hear the stories of your doctors, the stories of your customers, and the stories of your brands. That is the only message. Before I conclude, I want to share a single slide with all of you. Please allow me to open my slide. Razia, my slide. Can you
Yes, 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 it's
So
visible.
my last message to all of you that I have been serving in this industry for more than 2 decades. I started my career as a product executive. So here in this slide that in this pharma industry, the center of attraction or attention is the doctor. And a doctor, he or she prescribes a brand. And who is always remaining very, very close to the doctors? It is the brand manager or the brand executive who always remains very close to the doctor, very close to the customer who ultimately prescribes the brand. And I'm not trying to show any arrogance. Please don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is that we, the professionals who are at this moment serving in a different role, in a more, leadership role. So the CEOs or the directors or the executive directors or the head of marketings or the CMOs, they are far, far, far away from the doctors. It is the brand managers who are very, very close to the doctors. So the decisions should not be top down. It is not that we will always, give the decision. Ultimately, if I can come out of the office, if I can, coming out of my regular activities or my regular KPIs, if I can really understand the needs or the requirements of my customers, my doctors, if I can really understand the sufferings and the feelings of my patients, my chemists, my medical rep, I'll be able to portray the real stories. I'll be able to build a successful brand. So my last slide to all of you is that, which I always say, even in my office as well. Uh, I hope my slide is visible, right?
Yes, it
So
is.
I always say that whosoever today is pursuing career in the pharma industry, please keep focus on your brand and trying to focus at least establishing one single brand. Your little initiatives can shake things up. Put your hearts on knowing your customers, knowing your patients, knowing your medical reps. Put your hearts on portraying the stories of your brand. This is how ultimately you'll be able to establish a power brand, at least establish one single powerful brand in your career, so that when you'll be end up with your career, you'll be able to when you will reminisce your career, your pharma career, you'll be able to share with your children or with your grandchildren that, look, this is how I have established, or I established one single brand. This is my brand which I have established. This is how I changed the world. So this was my message to all of you today. Once again, I'm seeking your apologies for being very brief today. Thank you once again, Pharma State Academy. Thank you, Vivek sir, for allowing me to share a few words with all the upcoming leaders of Bangladesh pharmaceutical industry. In fact, I was also some briefly joining the World Pharma Brand Managers Summit. I also had the privilege of hearing and listening many professionals from Indian pharma industry and learned a lot during the last 2, 3, 4 days. So I hope to continue this learning through Pharma State Academy. And with this note, I want to conclude. Thank you. Thank you very much.